Hey guys, KRX50 here with another review, this time of the Deluxe Jungle Blaster from Power Rangers Wild Force. This is a second set of team weapons gained by the Wild Force Rangers later on into the season that can be combined together to form the Jungle Blaster. Consists of 5 components: the Red Ranger's Falconator, Black Ranger's Rhino Shooter, Blue Ranger's Sword of Pardolis, Yellow Ranger's Armadillo Puck, and White Ranger's Deer Clutcher. Looking at each one individually, we'll start with the Falconator. It is molded after the Red Falcon Zord, molded in red plastic. You have this tail feather here, the head, these kind of inverted wings that form claws that can open and close using these tabs here, like so. And this one also, and this part also has light and sounds. So I already have it switched on. These sounds are activated by this button, which can be activated when you're holding it like this. We have one sound while it's like this normally. Like that. Next is the Rhino Shooter, a hand blaster, a blaster molded after the blue Rhino Zord. We have the Rhino head here with horns and everything, the ears. Got its back part, the handle, and it also has a pressure missile, which is fired by pulling this trigger. Though, when it does clear the barrel, it doesn't go very far. And the problem is because of this handle, which only goes this far back. It might have been better if they just used a spring instead. The Sword of Pardolis is modeled after the orange Giraffe Zord. Has this head part here, which is actually a head attachment for when the Giraffe Zord is used as an arm for any of the Megazords. Can be held like this, and it doesn't really do anything on its own. The Armadillo Puck is what it is. It's a silver and purple puck that is molded after the Armadillo Zord. And it's just what it is. Doesn't really do anything, you can kind of roll it. But it's got this part that kind of makes it stand on edge. And finally is the Deer Clutcher, modeled after the green Deer Zord. Has this whole facing, a handle, and these antlers that can be moved in and out manually. Now the reason why these 5 are designed after this is because these are designed to be modeled after the 5 components of the Isis Megazord, the second main Megazord that the Rangers gain. And so to combine them, you do this. First take the Sword of Pardolis and attach it to the Deer Clutcher, then take the horns and fold them into these grooves on the side of the Sword of Pardolis, so that they're in like that. Then take the Rhino Shooter and attach it to the Armadillo Puck, like so. Next, you take this combined section and attach the Falconator to the back of it by opening up the claws, then moving it around this kind of slant. Then finally, you take this combined section, see these 2 pegs on the bottom, and they connect onto the 2 pegs, one on the Rhino Shooter and one on the Falconator. So they lock in place, like so. And there you have the completed Jungle Blaster. You've got this nice concise flow of things, where each of the components works well on each other. And it doesn't look too jumbled up. You even have this kind of little barrel part here. Now the missile here can still be fired, but since the trigger is since you can't access the trigger because the handle is folded up, you have these buttons on the side. Unfortunately, they don't push out the missile any better than the trigger does. And that then was me bumming into something I had already had out here. So when it's like this, the Falconator still makes sounds, but it makes a different sound for the firing off of the kind of combined attack. And just showing you the lights there. Now the way that's done is pretty simple. What you'll see is that there is actually a little grey button on the tip of the beak here. Just press that down until it clicks, and then you can press the button and it'll make the Jungle Blaster sound. Then putting it back together is simple. Just like that. Now, normally I would go into differences between this and its Japanese counterpart, but the fact of the matter is that it has none. This was, this is one of those rare examples, like the Chroma Blaster, of a weapon made for the Rangers exclusively for the American version of a show, and that actually made it into the show. The Armadillo Blaster is not just a toy. It's not just toy exclusive. It's an American-only toy that was in the show, but there was nothing like this in Hyakuju Sentai Gao Ranger. So this is actually an interesting piece of merchandise, because usually they don't really do stuff like that. So as far as recommending it, it's not too bad. I mean, a lot of the components don't really do much, but they look nice. They're bright and colorful, and the combined Jungle Blaster is actually a pretty cool weapon. So I'd really mostly recommend this to Wild Force fans and Wild Force completionists. It really isn't too bad. So before closing out, I'm just gonna give you guys a little note. Recently, my Falcon Summoner review actually went viral, and so I now have it enabled with revenue sharing. So if you guys could go to that, if my subscribers in particular could go to that review, click on the ad there, click on the ad that appears on screen, then an ad will come up, it'll make a pop-up, and what that'll do is, for those people who know about revenue sharing, it'll make me a little bit of money out of the profits that whatever company that as Ford gets out of you clicking on the ad. And by helping me make money, it'll help me be able to get more stuff and make more reviews for you guys. So it'll only take a few seconds, it's simple, it doesn't cost you anything, and it'll help me get you guys more reviews. And so I'll link to the Falcon Summoner review right about here. So, just do that for me and I'll be very thankful. So, please rate, comment, subscribe, and check out my blog at krx50.blogspot.com. And for now, this is KRX50, writing off.